There is a power within us, a quiet, unshakable strength. It is neither seen nor heard by the world, but it guides us from within. This is the power of self-mastery, the foundation of the Stoic way. It is not about showing the world what you can endure, but knowing in the depths of your being that nothing truly disturbs you anymore. Imagine standing in the midst of chaos. The storms of life rage around you, betrayals, failures, losses, all that could tear the spirit apart. But within, you remain unmoved, untouched by the external noise. This is not ignorance or a lack of feeling. No, we feel deeply, but we are no longer controlled by those feelings. We learn to govern ourselves, to master the mind, because the mind is where all battles are fought and won. The Stoic philosopher Epictetus once said, "It is not events that disturb us, but our view of them." Consider that for a moment. What troubles you is not what happens, but your perception of it. We have been trained to react, to flinch at hardship, to retreat from pain. But in truth, nothing that happens outside of us holds any true power over our spirit. It is only when we allow it that we become disturbed. Do you see the significance? If it is not the event that disturbs us, then we hold the key. We have the choice in how we respond to the world. This is the essence of our strength, the realization that we are free, truly free, to decide how external forces will affect our inner state. We are stronger than we know, but we must awaken to this truth. Think of Marcus Aurelius, the Roman emperor who bore the weight of an entire empire on his shoulders. Despite the immense burden of leadership, he wrote in his meditations, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength." Can you imagine such clarity in the midst of ceaseless demands, wars, and betrayals? And yet, he remained undisturbed. Not because life spared him its cruelty, but because he understood that the power to remain calm and centered was entirely his own. We are not emperors, but the principle applies to us all. Every day we face pressures, disappointments, fears, our own miniature wars. We may not control these battles, but we control ourselves. The Stoic knows that victory is not in defeating others or overcoming the world, but in mastering oneself. So how do we act like nothing disturbs us anymore? It begins with the understanding that emotions, anger, fear, sadness, are not inherently bad. They are part of the human experience. But destructive emotions arise when we allow them to dictate our actions. Seneca, the great Stoic philosopher, taught that anger is temporary madness. He said, "The greatest remedy for anger is delay." We do not banish our feelings, but we observe them, give them time to cool, and then respond with reason. This is how we keep control. This is how nothing disturbs us anymore. We are not Stoics because we are emotionless. No, we feel everything. But we are Stoics because we refuse to be ruled by those feelings. The mind, our fortress, must remain unshaken. In this way, we transcend suffering. Pain, loss, the inevitable challenges of life, they do not weaken us, they become our teachers. They forge our strength. Together, we rise. We stand at the gates of our own minds, sentinels of our inner peace. When the storm approaches, we do not cower. We do not flee. We stand firm. We observe. We allow the winds to blow, but we remain unshaken. And as we do, we discover that the storm was never as powerful as we believed. We are not slaves to the chaos around us. This is the heart of Stoicism, freedom from the tyranny of external events. No longer will we be tossed about by the whims of fortune. Instead, we cultivate a deep, abiding calm. We become impenetrable. The world may roar, but we hear only silence. The world may strike, but we feel only strength. As Marcus Aurelius reminds us, the impediment to action advances action. What stands in the way becomes the way. Every obstacle becomes fuel for our growth. Every challenge is an opportunity to strengthen the fortress within. This is very powerful, indeed. Act like nothing disturbs you anymore, not because life will spare you hardship, but because you have the power to transcend it. Together, we move forward, unshaken, undisturbed, into a life of true freedom.